Hi, I'm Zios Bisintiangoy. Good day everyone. For today's video, I'm going to share an explanation about the ancient time. This is just a short explanation but I hope you can gather some lesson from it. During the growth of the ancient civilization, ancient technology was the result from advance in engineering ancient time. This advance in the history of technology stimulated societies to adopt new way of living and governance. And my group, they will explain to the information derived from the ancient technology.
So, democratic government. The word democracy comes from the Greek term demokratia, literally means rule by the people. The word and the concept was introduced in 507 before Christ by Celestinus, ruler of the Greek city-state of Athens. This form of popular government consisted of three separated institutions: the ecclesia or assembly, which wrote laws and dictated the foreign policy; the bull, as council of representatives chosen from different Athenian tribes; and the dicasteria, a popular court system in a practice only a small minority of the Athenian population took part in the early form of democratic government, as participation was limited to male citizens over 18. Athenian system of popular rule would last only until around 460 before Christ, when an aristocracy began to emerge under the leadership of the general Pericles. However, the democratic ideals and processes that originated in ancient Greece have influenced politicians and governments ever since.
Compasses help people explore and navigate the world. It may seem irrelevant in today's world of satellite and GPS, but at the time it was an important invention. However, it is possible that compasses were originally created for spiritual purposes. The earliest compasses were mostly made around 200 before Christ. Invented by the Chinese, some were made from magnetite, a naturally occurring form of the mineral magnetite. There is also evidence that other civilizations used magnetite for navigation and spiritual purposes. At some point, probably around 1050 AD, people began suspending lodestones to move freely and used by sailors. It can be found in a European book from 1190. So by that time, it is likely that the use of a needle as a compass was commonplace.
Ancient Egyptians knew all about the power of smoky eye. Way back in 4000 before Christ, they started making food to line their eyes by mixing soup with galena, a mineral with a metallic bluish, gray or black hue. In some ancient paintings, Egyptians are depicted wearing green eye makeup, a shade they achieved by mixing another mineral, malachite, with the galena. Both women and men wore cool eye makeup in ancient Egypt. They believed it had healing properties, as well as the power to protect the wearer from the evil eye.
Several investigators did pioneering works on electronic voice transmission. Many of them later filed intellectual property lawsuits when telephone use uploaded, but it was Scottish inventor Alexander Graham Bell who was the first to be awarded a patent for the electric telephone on March 7, 1876. His patient's drawing and pictured above. 3 days later, Bell made the first telephone call to his assistant, Thomas Watson, saying, "Mr. Watson, come here. I want to see you according to author." E. Edward Stevenson, in his book the Telephone Patient Conspiracy of 1876, the Eliza Gray, Alexander Bell Controversy, and its many players. Mark Partland 2015. Bell's inspiration of the telephone was influenced by his family. His father taught speech evolution and specialized in teaching the deaf speak. His mother, an accomplished musician, lost her hearing in the later life, and his wife Mabel, who was he married in 1877, had been deaf since the age of 5. According to Evenson, the invention quickly looked and liberalized global business and communication. When Bell died on August 2, 2022, and telephone service in the United States and Canada was stopped for 1 minute to honor him.
The printing press. German inventor Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press sometime between 1440 and 1450. Key to its development was the hard mold, a new molding technique that enabled the rapid creation of large quantities of metal movable type. Two others before him, including inventors in China and Korea, had developed movable type made from metal. Gutenberg was the first to create a merchandise process that transferred the ink, which made from licensed oil and soot, from the movable type to paper. With this movable type process, printing presses exponentially increased the speed with which book copies could be made, and thus they led the rapid and whispered dissemination of knowledge for the first time in history. In her book, The Printing Revolution in Early Modern Europe, Cambridge University Press, 2012, late historian Elizabeth L. Einstein wrote, "Printer workshop would be found in every important municipal center by 1500. It has been estimated that up 20 million volumes had been printed in Western Europe by 1500, although Einstein estimated that it was around 8 million.